Welcome back to the Crawford Lawcast. I'm Michael Perkinson. We're here with Chris Crawford and our special guest, Pensacola Vibes, Sean Mullins. I personally think that you're a driving force for tourism in Pensacola.
Yeah, unfortunately, but yeah.
Is there any benefit to that?
Aside from making money off them, no, I'm just kidding. Just raising awareness of like the same thing, like locals only. I hate that bullshit. It's so stupid. Like I hate
Completely
that.
agree.
Like I'm a local. Like if you're a fucking guy with a local, not the local brand from Pensacola, but just like a local logo, almost like the Salt Life, you're probably a douchebag.
Like, don't tell me you're not a breezer.
Yeah, you're probably a douchebag. Like, I don't give a damn. Like, this isn't my beach. This is everyone's beach. Like, you don't make this messy. I don't make the lake in Jersey messy. Like, that should just be a thing. So it's just building awareness about respect. The same thing like the restaurant industry. Like, I clean my plates after I'm done and when I've eaten out. Let's say at the Grand Marlin, then I stack the plates because it's just a matter of respect. Hopefully people gain more respect of Pensacola and the area, and hopefully I do it in a way that is not just completely exploiting Pensacola for a monetarily value. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I want you to make your money.
Yeah, 100%.
And I think you should be making as much as you could possibly make. What I like, and what maybe it's your dislike of East Hill that I like so much, is one of the reasons I don't like East Hill is the amount of money that somehow gets allocated to just that particular area of Pensacola.
Yeah.
That's what pisses me off.
100%.
Because we have so many, like I said, this is like one of the most diverse little areas. You go to South Florida, you're not going to drive to the north or whatever the county is and see farms, like real deal farms, or then go and see beautiful beaches and Civil War
100%.
historic. So I want us to spend our money on that.
Yeah.
Because the reality is, like, and this is maybe segues into why I don't like real estate photography. I don't want you to move here because of the house.
Yeah.
And that's not really what you're moving here for. You're moving here for because it's safe, it's clean, we got these amazing places to go. Like, all right, so my 2-year-old, this kid is wild and full of energy. Like no nap, go 11% all the time. We tried to go to the Navy NAS museum. It was closed.
Yeah.
I was honestly, I called my wife screaming. I was so mad. I'm like, here is this base that has literally been part of our history. Like our history and their history is intertwined more than any other place in Pensacola.
It's Cradle of Aviation.
Cradle of Aviation, right? And at one point in time, the west side of Pensacola, they all worked at the base.
Yeah.
That's like where majority of the people on the west side worked. That was their whole livelihood. Now we can't even go to the museum that essentially our city helped build. I was so upset about that.
It was like maybe we were on a road trip and we went to Arby's and they had no meat.
Yeah.
Well, fuck your slogan is where's the meat? Where's the meat? We have the meats. I'm like, what the fuck? Sorry.
So look, man, that's one of the things I love about your photography is you're not just taking pictures of stuff in East Hill.
Yeah, 100%. And then what I've been doing lately, and I really love, and I have this platform, and I don't want to ever get political. I don't want to do that bullshit. I don't want to do.
I'll do it for you.
Yeah, thank you. And I don't want to be like I'm choosing sides. And so I'm like, damn, I have this platform. I love taking photos, and how can I make this more personal? And I've been doing more video and photos of restaurants, local restaurants. You're not going to see me doing, I'll probably eventually do one of McGuire's, but like that's not one of my like top things to do. Like do a video of Saigon. Saigon needs more attention. I think it has like much more respect that it deserves than it doesn't get. And doing a local food trucks, which I did one at Brown Bagger, but like, those are my friends, people that I have personal connection with, that I build a relationship with, that I think that I should post about and not have someone ask me to post their restaurant, and I'll do it whenever I feel like it, and I don't want anything in return. That's what I want to do. I want to go to, Dwarf's Chicken. Like, I need to do stuff like that. Like, but I don't want to just go there and do a video of them and then never go back. I want to like actually meet these people and like actually have a relationship, because if they're an asshole, I'm not going to want to do a video of them just because I'm trying to get more exposure on Pensacola Vibes because someone makes a great sandwich. I'm not going to do that. So that's what I've been trying to like turn gears into doing: photography, videography, but more of a personal connection of the community, and still do this like that.
So one of the things that, like, I'm going to try to put it in my own words. It may be completely wrong. So this is a correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah, for sure.
From the end user, like the people who look at your pictures, they love your pictures, they love your work. I believe they have a trust in you. Like, I believe they think that Sean, when you hear the name Sean Mullins, the first thing you think is quality. Like quality work. So one of the things that will happen is people who have this quality because really they had a passion to begin with, they will get hijacked by money. Like, could you imagine McGuire's coming to you and saying, we'll give you X amount of money, just come in, take pictures, right? But your users, the people who take in your content, they are trusting you
100%.
to vouch for quality.
Yeah, 100%. And I think a lot of people, when I do stuff, people can tell when you're half-assing something and it's almost like an advertisement. They can tell. And like, I feel like you don't want to treat whoever's watching your company like they're a damn idiot. Like, they know that I'm doing it because of myself, not for my own personal gain, not for monetarily value, but like, they can tell that people aren't dumb. And I think people that know who I am appreciate that. And I don't want to backstab anyone. I feel like that's what I'd be doing. Is just stabbing everyone in the back if I like went somewhere and took photos and posted it on Pensacola Vibes and just like that.
See, that's what kills me about real estate pictures. Because I know that like, there's a high percentage that those pictures, if I actually went to the house, I'm not going to see that view.
No, 100% no.
No.
You know what I'm saying?
Hell no.
Right?
But that's why I also love doing videography I would rather do videography for these houses than photos because I think it's more of a personal connection. And you can't really fucking Photoshop something out of a video. You could have like take your sweet ass time with it, but I'm not doing that. You're not paying me enough to do that.
Yeah, you know, you're not superimposing a rug or a couch into a photo, which a lot of times they ask you to do that kind of stuff.
Well, that's why I love doing portrait photography. I try doing stuff in portrait photography, which is not heavily Photoshopped, not like have like model photography. I try not to do stuff that's like too much of the face smoothed out. I want more of like what's in the background that like is a 50-50 of the combination. The same thing with, you know, real estate photography. It's almost like you're trying to make something look so perfect when it actually isn't. Like, you cannot make like something so perfect. And I do love doing real estate photography. I do like doing stuff that's symmetrically correct. That's what really gets me going. But, you know, at the end of the day, if like a realtor's an asshole and they want to do all this dumb shit, like...
Or how about like, hey, I need it by Tuesday.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. That's why I just posted a video, like, some guy takes photos, like, what a client thinks I do, and they come into the door, and the wife's there, and he's like, move aside, bitch, and, like, like rushes to the computer desk, puts the SD card in, and starts editing. You're like, no, fuck no, hell no, that's not my life. You think that I'm, like, a fucking peasant? Like, I hate that shit.
Right.
Obviously, I just cursed, like, 8 times.
No, it's fine. Because
I know.
Look,
we don't.
At the end of the day, I want to be real.
No, 100%. Yeah, that's what I'm here for.
That's kind of almost one of my downfalls. Like, when you say I don't want to be political, look at my age and my everything that I've seen from my own work. I'm perfectly fine taking a stance at this point.
No, 100%, and I'm perfectly fine taking a stance as Sean Mullins. But Pensacola Vibes, that's not what they're coming there for. They're coming there for not to like therapeutic and like inner like peace, but like not to see the bullshit. But I will always have a personal opinion about everything. Like, I don't give a damn what you think, you know.
So look, let's talk about this, because I moved to Pensacola 2009. Like 2009 Pensacola to where we are now is night and day.
2007 is when I moved here.
Okay, so you saw it too.
I didn't do shit until like 2011 though. I remember going to Club Ice on Palafox.
Yeah, I went there too, man. Yeah. Let me tell you my first experience going out. It could have been Club Ice. I remember. So I went out with. Oddly enough, I went out with a kid.
Digging deep, running back there.
Yeah, I went out with a kid who was in my law school. He quit law school because it wasn't for him, and somehow oddly, this kid ended up in Pensacola because his wife worked for the federal government, had some job up here. So he took me out the first time, and my first thought was like, hey, isn't that like a 17-year-old kid over there?
Yeah.
And, oh, isn't that a 55-year-old guy over there? See, Miami, it's not like that.
No,
like
it's everyone. Everyone and everything.
Yeah. That's what blew me away. I'm like, where the hell are we there? We got a 17-year-old and a fucking 16-year-old over there. But that was like, he's like, man, welcome to Pensacola.
Yeah.
Like, this is normal. And then to see the grow. My only problem, and this is my concern, we did a great job rebuilding downtown and like rebranding, whatever you want to call it.
It's creating a monster.
It's exactly it, man. It's creating a monster that we have to feed, and the rest of Pensacola is kind of losing out to that monster. That's my concern.
The thing is, you create something like that, and then it's going to have like a spiderweb effect where you create something cool, and then there's too many people involved, just money grabbing everything, and then you're going to open up too many Beef O'Brady's and all that shit, like the concrete jungle, what you don't want. It's not what I don't want. But don't get me wrong, I do love Chipotle. Like I said, one day I'll go to Target. Like, oh, fucking, like, I'm not supporting local, but like, it's nice to get away from the norm. But then it's like, you don't want too many cookie cutter places downtown. Don't want too many cookie places like closing up like the actual shops that make sense.
Like Dorf Chicken.
Exactly. And you don't want these people coming from the north or someone else that, you know, all they have, not north, but in general, like all they have is Olive Garden and Carrabba's, and that's all they go to because they're never going to get out of like their comfort zone. Like a lot of people, and me too, will watch the same movies every year because they know that they're not going to get disappointed. I'm not going to get disappointed when I see There Will Be Blood or something like that. I know I'm going to thoroughly enjoy it. People don't want to try new restaurants because they're like, I don't want to spend $20 and then it'd be a waste of money. But for me and my ideology on stuff like that, it's like when I go to places new in Pensacola, I'm like, this is what I would do in Tampa. If I'm visiting Tampa, I'm going to go on Google Maps, look at some place that is cool, and I'm going to go there. Well, that's what I try to do in Pensacola. Like once a week, I'll try to go somewhere new. Like everyone's like, oh, you see the same damn people. Well, that's because you go to the same fucking place every day.
Yeah.
What do you expect?
But
there's that person at the bar.
That was a real Pensacola thing to do, man.
Yeah.
You went to where your buddies worked. You went to where your
100%.
buddies owned. You know, that was the thing to do.
You know you're going to get the same thing every day.
Right. So if I was able to give you a magic wand and you could fix whatever you wanted to fix about Pensacola, what would that be? And I'll give you as many things.
The water quality through like the bayous and stuff like that. I think that's the main reason why people aren't going. Like I said, paddleboarding and stuff like that. I just wanted that to be the water quality to be like, why the hell is everything by the paper mill disgusting as shit? Like all these open water spaces, like we could be Tampa and St. Pete where people are fishing and there's all these mangroves and everything's growing. And like another thing that I do love about Pensacola Beach, it's awesome. The water quality is great, but like there ain't shit there but water and sand.
Yeah.
It's cool that we have an artificial reef now off the pier that which no one knows anything about. Like no one knows shit about that. Some people know about the one past Portofino, but there's the same thing right next to the Pensacola Pier. I just wish there was more outdoor activities that were more acceptable and more people love to do. That's pretty much
Well, to me, it's like, I think people would want to do it if it was there.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Even if it is there, like someone has to make it look cool in order to do it. I think that's the whole entire thing with Pensacola Vibes. Like the nature trails that I go on, it makes it look cool, and people want to do it. It's a whole entire influencer bullshit. If you can be an influencer and make it look cool to wear this crop top, everyone's gonna want to do it. I mean, it's the same shit that's been going on for years, but trying to take that mindset and use it for something good.
You've been doing something with trails. And national parks or state parks or just trails?
Just trails. I mean, I have a trails page on Pensacola Vibes, if that's what you're talking about.
Yeah. Can you explain?
It's essentially, I have the list. Like, you can look up trails on Google Maps, but on Pensacola Vibes website, on PensacolaVibes.com/trails, there's a Google Maps page where there's a little bullets where, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You can see what trail it is, look it up, and then go to it. I mean, just as directions get here. And so I know we're only talking about Pensacola Vibes, but my other company called Panhandle Springs, which is freshwater springs, where I free dive, same concept that I started. I've already done it for fun, already have all these photos. I want to create a trails page or a springs page that just has a number, like, whatever the trail is, and then so people can go outside and do that. I think it just like an active lifestyle makes people happier, and like the city grows like better and stuff like that,
It's obvious that you're passionate about it, as I see it.
Yeah.
Like you can tell that you're not filming it so people can see it. You're filming it because you want to film it.
Yeah,
you
100%.
enjoy it.
I mean, only once in a while will I be like, so when I went to CJ's Kitchen and I had breakfast, that was one instance where I was like, oh shit, I should probably record this.
Dude,
A lot of the times I'm like, oh, I'm already recording it. I'm like, oh fuck, I'm sitting here. This is awesome. Like, this is a local spot. Like, I should totally like film this so they get more business, not just every Sunday. It might be packed Sunday, but like if it's shit packed Sunday, maybe they'll go Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Like,
So many years ago, Quint Studer did this, I guess you call it a competition. And the whole idea was he will allow you, or he'll give you one of the building leases. Mm-hmm. And we had from that the place downtown. What am I thinking of? The restaurant.
Bodacious was.
No, Bodacious was his own.
Bubba's Sweet Spot.
But right next to Bodacious.
Downtown?
Yeah, downtown. The lady who won the competition was able to open up her own restaurant. It was
on that strip.
Yeah, on that strip. It's a tapas restaurant.
I'm gonna have to
talk Carmen's.
Carmen's, right? So Carmen won that competition, and that's how she opened up that restaurant.
I did not know that.
Yeah, that's how it all went down. right? But Quint was able to do it because essentially he owned the building.
Yeah,
right? He could do whatever he
100%,
wanted to, right? The city of Pensacola, they never want to do something like that because honestly, in my opinion, they want to keep it to their buddies and to themselves. But if they were able to do something like that for all these different areas, like the county, right? The county politics is insane. Like it's literally just a bitch bunkering, it's like a bunch of kids just bitching all the time. I want them to do the same thing because if you want to go down a river on a tube, you got to go to Santa Rosa.
Yeah, 100%.
That's the only infrastructure that has that.
It's the same concept as like murals. There ain't no murals downtown Pensacola. Like, oh, look at the mural of that ship on the old Seville Tower, right? That's not a fucking mural. That's a canvas. That's not even attached to the building. So they can take that down whenever they want to. Stop half-assing Pensacola kind of thing. Like, pay for...
Oh, man. It's like
no one wants to commit.
It's like when they did the food trucks, all right? So there was all this conversation. Food trucks are dangerous. They're going to put out business. And
well, then maybe you're not doing your business
That's
right.
exactly what I thought. I was like, that's the whole point of business, is to put out the people who aren't competitive.
Yeah, there's enough food for everyone. That's why there's some people that are doing the same thing as Pensacola Vibes, taking photos and videos of the year. I think that's fantastic.
Yeah, and then they did that, whatever the hell you call it. At first it was called al fresco. Where
The
they
garden.
where they tried to make it say that was food trucks. It's like,
That's
that
not
ain't food trucks, bro.
Ain't going nowhere.
Yeah, those aren't going
Stationary.
anywhere. And one dude owns that whole place. And the truth is, he leases out those Airstreams for insane amount of money. So that's just nothing more than me going down to the mall and going to the food court.
We're getting into politics now, but isn't that intertwined with the puppy fucking pee thing?
Yes, man.
We don't have to get into
No,
it.
we can.
No,
It's a
isn't
bunch
it
of
like
bullshit.
$40,000 or something like that to put that in?
Yeah.
For a dog to go pee when there's perfectly fine grass and shit to pee and poop?
Yeah, just walk a little bit more.
It's not my business. I
Take
just
your
take
kid
photos.
down. Take your dog down to the Maritime
Remember what
Park.
I'm
There's
talking about?
I do, but my mind was set on the irony of the food trucks because when the city pushed against it and they're like, oh, put it in our city council parking lot.
Yeah.
Then we had a food truck TV show up to Pensacola, and Pensacola's like, we love food trucks. No, we don't. You said a month ago we don't.
We love homeless people. Wow.
That blew me away. That
Goddamn.
we had a food truck TV show.
We'll stop everything one day to move all of them. And then we still
Shut
don't know what the fuck to do.
No, we'll take the money.
This should totally go on the podcast. This should be totally a highlight right now.